Yes, it's a beautiful Monday here in the city of Port Harcourt, River State. That's where we're reaching you from. You are welcome to the Newspaper Review here on Top TV. My name is William Sabule, and with me here on the show is Mr. Victor Sioku.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Mr.
Thank you,
Victor
sir.
is our current affairs analyst, and together we're going to go through the headlines across newspapers around Nigeria. So do well to join us as we do this. You can also be a part of it, like I always tell you. Drop your comments and your reactions on the comment section. We want to hear what you think about these headlines. All right, so feel free to do so. We're also on other social media handles. We're on Facebook as Top TV. On Instagram is Top TV _NG, and also on Twitter is Top TV. So find us on all of these platforms and also be a part of this conversation as we go straight to taking the headlines right now, being the 31st day in the month of October. Sure, the year is already winding up. All right, so how was your weekend though?
Beautiful and mixed.
Yeah.
Beautiful in the sense that I made a trip.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there were some crazy scenes on the road.
Happy. No, these times are very critical times, coupled with the whole flooding. The roads have changed, plus the traffic on one end of the southeastern road leading up to Owerri, Anambra, because everybody seems to have, redirected to that axis since the east-west road on the, Bayelsa, Delta axis is almost cut off or completely cut off. So, yeah, I understand what you mean.
A journey of 3 hours took me 10 hours.
Yeah, I can imagine that kind of stress.
So it was really stressful.
It's not a comfortable one.
Yes.
All right. Thank God you're here, safe in one piece. All right, let's go straight to taking the headlines for today. And we'll begin with this day newspaper. And on this day here, from the top part, it says here, Obaidbena calls for collective action to salvage education sector, honored as GCU Marina of the Century. Omoto, there is growing distrust in value of academic certificates. If you need to get details, please go to this day newspaper. That's where you find the details of that story. Other stories here is the Fashola federal government yet to determine extent of damage to roads infrastructure by raging floods. That story is on page 6 of this day newspaper. Moving downwards, it says Atiku mocks APC, says ruling party can't campaign on issues. The details is on page 12 of this day. Tinubu, Buhari declined to nominate my running mate. Afenifere divided as Fasuranti orders endorse ex-Lagos governor. Adebanjo insists on Obi. So that same detail you find on this day. As the main headline on this day, it says here, President, CBN has my backing to redesign Naira notes. People with illicit money buried under the soil will have a challenge with this, but workers, businesses with legitimate incomes will face no difficulties at all. That is according to the president. So, and right under that, you also see Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance is on the board of CBN to ensure effective coordination. And that is also referring to the redesign and disbursement of the Naira notes. So do well to get a copy of this day newspaper to get the full story. All right, Mr. Victor, let's start with the main headline here. It says, President, CBN has my backing to redesign the Naira notes. What do you say to that story?
Okay. The news has been up there, and
Yeah.
I bet you there is a whole lot of pandemonium going
Yeah.
on right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so before I even start this, I need to tell our viewers to be very careful with the times right now. If you're a business person, you just need to play so safe right now because the markets are now being flooded with cash. Okay?
Yeah.
People have started coming out with their cash. In fact, I witnessed it on Saturday when I went to the market. So cash is now the thing. Okay? Okay, so we need to be very careful because when you over extend your limit on depositing cash,
Yeah.
your name will be flagged. And once your name is flagged, you are into a big trouble.
They will freeze your account and then start from there.
Yes. So we need to be very, very careful right now. Okay. So aside that, there is still pandemonium with respect to the finance minister, the CBN governor, and the president himself. So there is a chain of reaction happening since this news came out.
Yeah.
The minister is saying that, see, why didn't the CBN include them in the planning? So that's to tell you that this news came out and the Minister of Finance, the total Ministry of Finance, we are not aware. So that was why you see the president coming out to say, see, I am aware of this. I planned it with the CBN governor. But there are issues too, because by law, the CBN are supposed to guide anything monetary aspect of the economy.
Yeah.
Why the Ministry of Finance will take care of the fiscal aspect of it. Now, the Naira note thing is a fiscal, will I say, responsibility of the Ministry of Finance. They were supposed to be heard. They were supposed to be in charge of this planning, okay? But will I say, communication was the thing now,
Yeah.
okay? And I also don't think it was right for the minister to come out in anger to voice her pain. I think it was something that they were supposed to go in-house and discuss these matters. I believe she could have also gotten a better explanation and all that. Okay, so now to the details. What are the what are the issues that will come out from this? One, the dollar will go high.
It's already high.
We are feeling the heat.
It's over 800 naira
yes,
now.
it has
caught
up with the 800 naira mark. Okay, and I bet you it will keep going. What is happening? Because people are coming out
to buy up dollars,
to sell off their naira and buy up dollar. Now, mind you, we have about 3.5 trillion naira cash that is supposed to be in circulation, but just about 1 trillion plus is what is being circulated. Over 2 trillion is being hoarded.
They are in the hands of some people. We don't know who they are.
We don't know who they are. Yeah. So this avenue, very smart idea as far as I'm concerned. Yes,
but it has its implications.
Its implication. I mentioned now that the dollar is
already going high, yeah,
and it will keep going high. Secondly, our banks will not carry this burden. It is just 3 months, mind you, and I think 3 months is not enough. Right here in the south, we are running businesses, southeast businesses, so we have many banks. We have the microfinance banks that can gather this money up for CBN. But if you go to the north, some local governments might just have only 2 banks. How will the people there be able to push in their funds? That is to tell you that there will be so much rush that the banks cannot carry the capacity of this rush.
Plus, let's not also forget that one of the targets of this whole change is, criminals, terrorists, kidnappers, and most of these people. I'm not saying that it's only in the north, but we have more of these terrorists and bandits and kidnaps and all of that happening in the north. So maybe, just maybe, more of this cash is stuck up somewhere in these bushes.
Let me also tell you that will also increase the inflation, and it will also increase the FX, the dollar naira exchange rate. Reason, let me tell you, I am not here to give advice to kidnappers, but let me tell you, kidnapping right now, they will ask for dollars. They will tell you, go and change it to USD and bring for us. Mr. Bule, just get ready. In the next few weeks, or just about 2 weeks, in 14 days from now, you must hear it from the newspaper that
kidnappers are requesting for dollars.
So they will go through that route. Mind you, there are also avenues to pay these kidnappers. I'm not here, like I said, to educate them. You can use through Bitcoins. You can use through USDT.
But then, if you talk about Bitcoin, the CBN has also found a way or tried to regulate that by,
let me not expose these techniques that you can use to bypass CBN. Okay? This is not. I'm not here to.
No need.
Yeah. See, Mr. Bule, if I open my mouth on how they can do the whole thing, man, it's a simple thing for them to do. Okay, let's keep that aside, please. So, like I said, the kidnappers will help in the destruction or depreciation of the naira. Okay. Now you go to the politicians. Yes, but yes, these monies, they cannot exhaust those monies in 3 months. They will lose some of those monies. Because, my brother, for somebody to even 100 billion to liquidate or transform 100 billion to USD, it's not a child's play. Even the BDCs will
They
be
will
arrested.
not be able to.
They will be arrested. If EFCC, they are doing their job very well.
This is the best time.
This is the best time. BDCs will be arrested. That's Bureau de
Really
Change, guys.
change, yeah.
They will be arrested because of these acts. So, and I like how they brought it to the extent that by December, which you know that politicians will go home, they will go to their villages and they will pull out these monies and spend. Okay? So I like the fact that the new Naira will even start
In December.
in December 15. So before Christmas comes, the new Naira is there. So what will also happen is that people will start rejecting the old Naira from December, my brother. If you bring out 100,000 Naira like this to give persons, I bet you people will start rejecting it. Yes, big corporate bodies will accept, but you see all these other small shops, I bet you they will stop collecting that. In fact, you start seeing the signage, do not accept cash.
But that will be dependent on how much circulation of these new notes will be, how quick the new notes will be circulated.
See, there will be fears, no two ways about that. And mind you, many businesses are being run without touching
Cash,
monies
yeah.
again.
Which is one of the message of the CBN, which is like, let's go cashless for now. Let's go cashless and let's circulate the new notes while we retrieve the old one. So do cashless, transactions.
Yes. So already some businesses, even in Port Harcourt, they've stopped. Like I know a particular shop, the woman has been she has been dealt with by her workers. So she stopped receiving of cash. If you cannot do transfer into her account, she pasted it there. Yes, to some persons, it might be like, why are you bringing out your ass? Oh, come on. Your yash in the open space. Because you are, when those big signages, when you see those big signages, we only accept transfers to this account or pay through our ATM, our POS machine. When you see such signages, the normal thing from a customer will be like, they don't like this person.
Yeah.
You get my point? So, but people have started attracting such model of running their businesses. So I believe by December, many persons will join and it will be a big issue. Mr. Bule, yes, 2 of us, we do not have raw Naira.
No,
I don't
have anyone stocked up. Oh. Please, if you have, I don't mind helping you to wash some.
So going forward, it will be very difficult, like I said, especially for politicians. And I bet you they will be losing some money.
Yeah. That's part of the target of the government, to also ensure that during this election, they kind of like frisk these politicians to the extent where vote buying will be difficult, because the volume of money they will be able to herd and used to induce people will now be reduced to a very huge extent. So a good move by the federal government, but also the implications are very huge, and we just hope it doesn't swallow up the whole economy, as it were. We're hoping that it will be managed properly. One, because of the timing is really short. Because if it was maybe a 6-month plan, we know that gradually this will be, circulate, and somehow it will balance itself out. But right now, because of the short time, we're seeing that, okay, the targets that they are trying to reach, which is the politicians, criminals, and all of those, they have gotten to them. They will get to them, but the implications are also, very huge. But we're hoping that, we all survive it. All right, moving on. Let's go to our next paper for today. That will be the Sun newspaper for today. This is the first day in the month of October. And on the Sun here, we see Southeast governors raise alarm over insecurity, seeks federal government intervention. Joint security team to patrol zone. One political solution on Kanu. That story is on page 6 of the Daily Sun newspaper. We also see here, Tinubu presents manifesto to Fasoranti. Orders. Stories on page 28 of the Daily Sun. Moving on to the main headline, it says Abuja residents live in fear amid tight security. Worship centers record low attendance. Government stops Abuja vigilantes from from bearing firearms. Details is on page 8 of the Daily Sun. Moving downwards of the Daily Sun here, we see a picture of Fasoranti, blessing Tinubu, and he has his hands laid on Tinubu's head. And just under that, we see the headline: Tinubu, Atiku, Obi orders asked to publish sources of campaign funding. Very, very key. We also see right under that, BK coalition, dare are you to stop autumn orders. Details is on page 29 of the Daily Sun. Lastly, I'll take this one. It says 2023, Atiku more grounded in grassroots politics than Tinubu. PDP national youth leader speaking. Details is on page 28 of the Daily Sun newspaper. All right, I'll just go straight and ask you. Abuja residents live in fear amid tight security. So we now see the federal government responding to the alert that was issued weeks ago due to the reaction of both the British and the US government. They moved out most of their very non-essential personnel. They moved them out. We don't know to the level of the threat alert they received, but it seemed to be very high for them to be moving. And now, Abuja is on some kind of fire as to trying to keep the place safe. How do you react to that story?
See, I will use this avenue, please, to pay tribute to the YouTuber that lost his life. Okay, because we're talking about security now. Nigeria is a place that when things like insecurity, the news of insecurity pops up, our government tries to make it down, to push it down, because they see that they are being demarketed. My brother, Nigerians are dying in their numbers on a daily basis. And the ones that can be reported will just be reported. Many of these incidents don't get reported. Please, this is an avenue to bid farewell to the young soul of Chigozie George Eboh. Chigozie George Eboh is a young YouTuber that just got into limelight within the last 1 year or thereabouts. This young man left the shores of this country to one of the Asian countries, okay? And somehow, I think it did not work out so well for him. But while he was in that Asian country, he was using his mobile phone to do some travel content. Videos, he's a travel blogger, okay? Lo and behold, he now came back to Nigeria and then continued. And like we all know, Nigeria is a fertile ground for many businesses. If you are a creative in Nigeria, with patience too, you can survive. Go far, yeah. So this guy started this journey, continued this journey rather in Nigeria. And he was documenting real facts of the Eboh land. In fact, Ali Eboh, he was really into the Ali Eboh culture and travel thing. Yes, he had contents even in Port Harcourt, Abuja, Lagos, but his main domain was just between Abia, Enugu, Anambra, Asaba. Okay? And he gained more like. In fact, I learned a whole lot. In fact, that guy, to a very great extent, he's my mentor when it comes to travel content. You see, he's in the levels or just a bit around Aino.
Okay, Tayo
Aino. Stephen Ndukwe. In fact, after Tayo Ndukwe, Eboh is my next person. Because you see the creativity, the rawness in his creation. Okay? But lo and behold, that happened. How did it happen? In a very crazy way. Reason. Just, he was making a trip, his normal trip, because this guy is a traveler. He was making a trip from Enugu to Asaba with a friend. And I suspect, personally, he might just have gone to make a content. Okay? On their way back, still in Enugu State, they were stopped by kidnappers. And he was murdered. While his friend was kidnapped. And later, ransom was paid and he was released. That is how my brother Nigeria has lost a creative. Nigeria has lost an asset.
Very sad.
Look at what is happening in Abuja.
Hmm.
Our government, in fact, when the news first came out, they were scared. They came out, the police ran out. Let's do drills. They did drills. Here.
Yeah, for the optics, of course.
For the optic. My brother, after 2 days, the next thing, Lai Mohammed came out to say, what nonsense is this? Nothing is happening in Nigeria. There's no issue.
Nigeria is more safer now more than ever.
My brother, now the IG of police Akali came out again yesterday. Nothing. There's no problem. My brother, people wey sabi don tell una say there is an issue. We know that you guys are, unfortunately, you guys are
Only to
incompetent.
gather intelligence within the country is so difficult for these guys. I've been right under their nose. A lot of terrible things are happening. Criminal activities that should have been uncovered and averted are happening right under their nose. Talk more of international intelligence. Now an international or a country as robust in terms of intelligence gathering like the US has said, guys, we cut off something. It concerns Abuja. Please be on alert. And you say, hey, these guys are talking out of point. They're trying to spoil, the security architecture of the country, that everything is in order. You guys are in control.
Or devalue our police.
They are always in control, yet things are going wrong right under their noses. It's really unfortunate.
Really bad.
And then lives have been lost every day. Okay, they are in control, yet news report says that, starches or large number of, explosives were found somewhere in an estate in Abuja. Yet they're in control. Arms have been, transported from left, right, center within this country. Yet they are in control. And they say they have a good intelligence, gathering system here in the country that they will know if something. It's really absurd how they react to these things until something bad really happens. Even the US is not so good enough to work with only their intelligence.
Yes.
They collaborate with hundreds and thousands of security agencies around the world. That's why listening to, I said this on our show last week, when Professor Akiemi came to say that, how would the federal government try to play down on this security alert call from the US, when the US listens every minute for intelligence reports from all over the world. So this story of an attack might happen in Abuja may have been caught up from anywhere in the world. It may not necessarily be here that, okay, Boko Haram was talking and they heard. It might be anywhere. It might be in Russia that they heard that there will be an attack on our soil here. So the best thing is to do is to, try to be very defensive and make use of this information.
Or even Al-Qaeda. Or even Al-Qaeda or Afghanistan or all these.
And mind you, most of all those terrorist organizations have been putting their eye on Nigeria. Nigeria is a country of interest for them because of Boko Haram, ISWAP, and the rest of them. These guys are inviting people from all over the world so that they can succeed in taking over the country. So how would anybody want to play down on that kind of information and tell people not to be careful? I mean,
you should go about your normal business.
It's unfortunate. But then those kind of things are the things we hope that they will stop trying to play down.
And them telling the citizens to go about their normal business on their own, they go with their troops. They go with their defense system, NSCDC, police, army, to guide them when they are on the road. But the common Nigerian, you not tell us to go. There's nothing happening. It's very sick.
They should rise up to their responsibilities and protect lives and property just as they have sworn to do. I mean, we know that Buhari's government is winding down, but since he has been very vocal recently, his men, people walking around with him, should know what to say and say the right things at the right time. Lai Mohammed, as far as I'm concerned, has been one hell of an information minister, like he has been one hell of a minister. I don't know. There are many likes of him in Buhari's government that has kind of like demarketed his government so badly.
Yes.
And at a time like this, when we should be hearing things to help people to work like a community of, intelligence gathering, you come and tell them that everything is fine. Whereas in reality, that's not the case. I mean, it's funny, but then this is Nigeria for you. So we're going to move on to our last paper. That will be the Nigerian Tribune, but we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll get right into the details on Nigerian Tribune. You stay tuned, we'll be right back. Now that you have registered for your PVC, it doesn't stop there. Ensure you pick up your PVC. Be alert. Join many Nigerians to vote credible leaders that will change the tide of this nation. Do not sell your vote. Remember, this is our future. Your vote is your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by Thav Media Limited.
All right, welcome back from that very short break. We are still here on the News Super Review, and I'm with Mr. Victor Sioko. We are just, giving analysis to the headlines for today, the 31st day in the month of October. Well, before we went on the break, we're about to go to Nigerian Tribune, so let's go there. So on the Nigerian Tribune, we see here, Wike dares IU over Otom, orders vows to expose more dirty deals to travel to Turkey to fine-tune strategies. That story is on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Southeast governors meet in Enugu, decry rising insecurity in the zone. Roll out joint security patrol on highways by December. Details is on page 25 of the Nigerian Tribune. And the major headline here on the Nigerian Tribune, we see terror alert. Operation Stop and Search begins at National Assembly. That's the NAS. Buhari summoned security meeting. Senator reps to use presidential gate. FCTA bars vigilantes from using firearms and marks 500 million naira for community policing. Details is on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. Other stories here, we see Atiku's foreign engagements to yield massive investments, jobs, campaign organizations speaking. All right, we also see Tinubu visit Fasoranti, Yoruba leaders in Akure, page 2. Presents to them policy documents, action plan for a better Nigeria. Those present at the Akure blessings are majority those who have distant ties with Afenifere. Akinigbinde speaking there. Onigbinde, sorry, I beg your pardon, Onigbinde speaking. All right, then that's the, okay, I'll take this one too. It says CBN has my backing on Naira Redesign, Buhari. Also, NDLA arrest village head, 10 orders over 991, 320 opioid pills, worth 1,251 kg skunk. Well, if you need to know what that means, go to page 27 of the Nigerian Tribune to read up the details of that story. All right, Mr. Victor, we have the story here. Tinubu visits Fatoranti Yoruba leaders in Akure, and we saw from the Daily Sun where blessings were being poured on Tinubu's head as to go and succeed. What's your reaction to that story?
Okay.
What does it say? Like, what does that even mean? That the Afenifere has given their full blessings, because that's their leader right there, giving blessings to Tinubu.
Okay, it came like a shock to me because for our viewers that have been watching, you notice that Afenifere had already given their blessings to P2B. Okay.
So it's now divided.
It is divided. It has happened, which is normal in Nigerian politics. So what is happening? The Afenifere already, they have their own leader. It is not contested. Pa Adebayo is their leader. Now, Pa Fasoranti is an ex-leader. Okay. Now, Tinubu had to now go to Fasoranti for blessings. And Fasoranti on his own was like, see, Tinubu is my Yoruba person. I cannot send him away. So he can't come to my house because this event happened in Fasoranti's house. Okay? But Adebayo on his own has released a statement saying that, see, whatever has happened over the weekend, it is not Afenifere's on Afenifere's terms. Tinubu went to see Fasoranti. But some things also happened. Okay, and also for the viewers, we should also know that Afenifere is a pan-Yoruba group that consists the Yoruba states, including, then they included Kwara and Kogi to the group. Okay, so now the issues we are facing right now is that who are the persons that were in the meeting with Tinubu? That's the Yoruba, the Yoruba giants that were there. We had Olufalaye. And Olufalaye, we already know that he is a big player in Yoruba politics. So for him to be there, we have Omishore. Yes, Omishore is from the AP, he's an APC person. Okay. But for the fact that we had these big men or big Yoruba politicians endorsing the meeting, we find out that now it has really created that division that Afenifere, they are well divided as it stands. But I want to also tell the people, whether Afenifere is for P2B or Ohaneze Ndigbo is for Atiku, or which other one, Arewa Consultative Forum is for whoever, it still boils down to your vote.
Individuals, yeah.
Because no matter who is the leader of that group, yes, you might find a way to lure some person. No, let me not use lure. Advertise your mandate to some persons in the group. But at the end of the day, it is not the group that will vote in our leaders. It is you, it is me, it is the common man on the street. So what are we saying right now? Our voters should go for the facts. Because whether Afenifere or Ahaneze, these are sentimentals.
Very sentimental.
We should go and focus on the facts. Who do you think, from the person's manifesto, from this person's learning and character? Because in the high institution,
Antecedents will speak.
and antecedents too. Because from our high institution, when you are being given a certificate, you'll be given the certificate because of your learning and in character.
What are they even, you know, at this point in time, I keep saying that the campaigns are on, not just campaigns, a lot of activities that are showcasing these candidates in different lights are on. Are we watching closely? Are we listening to what they are saying? Are we also looking at their body languages, what their interests are in, their style of operations? What are they doing? These are times where decision-making should be easy for Nigerians. Okay, let's say that, okay, those people that are not very learned does not have so much exposure to some of the things that are happening. But of course, those ones that are learned, are we looking? Are we using logic to make decision? Or we are working with sentiments, emotional sentiments, tribal sentiments, and all of those things, religious sentiments? Is that what we need at this time? Because we have been on this game, on this same emotional, tribal, religious, and all of the sentiments you can ever call. We have been on it. How well has it helped us? It doesn't really taking us anywhere. This one time, for this one time, Nigerians, a lot more Nigerians are saying, we want to shift from the norm. We want to approach these elections differently. But the numbers of people in on that boat, how many are they? And how well are we all moving to convert more people on that boat? So, just like you said, Tinubu goes there and gets the blessing of Fasuranti and all of that. It doesn't or hasn't, it's not the final word for people in Nigeria. Everybody should keep their eyes on the ground. Okay, so begin to know what you want, because the pain in the land is very serious. It's severe. It's severe. A lot is happening. In fact, I keep saying that anybody that survived 2022 and makes it to mid-2023, you are a strong survivor. It's not, people are jumping off bridges, people are killing themselves, people are dying of hunger, flood, the things happening around us. We don't want to go all negative. If you go negative, you in your house alone, depression will just kill you. You will just begin to go, emotionally depressed. So, I mean, if times are like this, I think we want a breath of fresh air. I think we want something different, because if you look closely, look at the candidates that are vying for this position, you find out that a good percentage of them are the people that have been in circulation for some time. They have not been able to give us change. So we need change now. So blessings or no blessings, I mean, my dear, the decision, like you said, is in the hands of the voters. So if you're watching this, and you have seen all those reports, the decision is in your hand. Don't allow the people around you that say, oh, I'm an Afenifere, I'm Ariwa, I am Ndigbo, and all of that, to decide what you want as good for yourself and your family and your future. Because that is what, do you know the number of persons that have left this country in the name of, I cannot survive here anymore. If I stay in this country one more day, I will lose it. And they keep living with everything. The ones that decided to stay, just like Mr. Victor was saying, that blogger, He even tried going, but he just came back. The country killed him. My dear.
So now the family will be like, why didn't my son
Just
stay over there
even
and
if
just
it's a
survive
house
and
boy,
be
house
alive?
boy, house
Yes.
boy. Let him be house boy there. Some people leave the shores of this country. It's not because it got better for them there in terms of maybe their earnings or anything, because believe it or not, it's not so easy out there too.
not easy.
We didn't
It's
say
not
that
easy.
the streets of London are built with gold and milk and honey.
It's not
People
easy.
go
You
there
work
and
your
struggle.
hands out.
They struggle real hard. Some of them 4 years on, they have not still found their footings.
Yes.
But one thing they have is freedom to breathe, freedom to speak, good environment. You have you feel like you're alive. You need, in fact, if you have never left the shores of this, you need to live for only one day. You understand why people are saying, you better not go die there than to die this painful death here. People die every day here in this country. Like,
nothing happens.
my brother, we are not doing well. So this is the time to make that decision. If not for anything, just for a change. Let's try change. Let's try something different. Because they keep saying that, oh, all of them are the same. Yes, it seems as if all of them are the same. But I don't agree entirely that all of them are the same. So let's try that thing that looks a bit different from the others.
Yes.
For a change. Let's see. If it doesn't work, we know that we are red, we are doomed. But let's try that change. So the vote and the choice and the power is in your hands. It's not entirely in the story of I'm an Ijaw man. So because my Ijaw leader endorsed one, the leadership that he has, is it not because I said, okay, I have faith in him? Most of these guys, they even do this endorsement based on their interest, not in the public interest, not in the interest of everybody. It is based on what I will get because I have endorsed Tinubu, and eventually if he wins, he's going to, bless me, or his government is going to favor me and my children. It is me, and my generation. It has nothing to do with the generation of my brother down there or my neighbor living down the street. It is about personal interest. That's how Nigerian politics have become. Very personal in their interest.
Yes.
Most times you think they are fighting for you. My dear, it's not for you. So the question is, what do you want? What do you want now? And what do you want for your children? So make it personal too, just as the way they are doing it. They say it is about them. So make it about you too right now. That's what we need in our next general elections. All right, Mr. Victor, I don't know if we should just close it there.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you so much for staying with us up to this time on the Newspaper Review. We'll bring you this Newspaper Review tomorrow again. So do well to join us, and don't forget to also drop your comments. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Click on the subscribe key, and don't forget to also turn on your notification, because that helps you to get notified whenever we come up with a new episode of the program. So till next time, I see you. Stay well and stay safe out there.